All right, my apologies. I hit the wrong button. So what I've done is fast forward. So over here, this is a it's not beer. It's green water. So I have sucked up basically a pitcher full of water from here, water from this one, using this. Doesn't take too long. And let me just take a real quick sip. Oh boy. So, like I mentioned, I'm starting to do water changes at the size. From my experience, they're going to be okay. They're going to be able to tolerate the water parameter changes. Fresh water going in. These are my Red Cliff Joes. So these were from my trios that I selected. 626 is when I collected the eggs, so they were born probably like 10 days later, so beginning or middle of July. So they're about a little bit over a month, maybe about a month. So I just have this 5-gallon. I always have water ready, so I just dump in water over here, put some dechlorinator, and I just let this pump just run all day. Making sure that the water temperature is going to be the same from what I have over here. And since I keep this here in the same garage, this tiny garage, pretty much the temperature is okay. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. I have a camera in one hand, I have this water tube in the other, and I have a beer in the other. So, all right, let me do this. All right, let me start adding water. So it's good that it's a slow process, right? Like the lower, if you want to, all right, so you see the water flow over here. This water flow is gentle enough, but if it is too slow, all you have to do is try to bring this bucket up, elevate it at a higher level, and then you'll get more water. And then the opposite as well. If it's too strong, what you do is, I just have this sitting on an empty cooler, but try to get something that sits lower to the ground, and then you won't have this much water flow. Yeah, this is a problem over here. I need to take a real quick sip, but I can't because my hands are full. But this is what I'm going to be doing. And again, instead of just giving this tub over here, waiting until this fills kind of, I'm just going to do little by little. In my opinion, like, it's really important to do little by little. Nothing too drastic as far as changes goes. But again, that requires time. A lot of people, including myself, we don't have that much time, right? So when I'm in a hurry, I'm just going to dump water left and right. Is it the best thing to do with your Medakas? No, but that being said, man, the stronger ones will survive, right? So I think one of the things that I learned when I started was, like, I was trying to keep everything. But what happens if you keep everything is, like, all these weaklings that would never survive in nature survives. And then they will produce eggs, and those genes will get passed on. And what happens? Well, the weaker genes, they do get passed on. So regardless of how they look, even if they look the most pretty, beautiful, if they're weak, you know, they're just going to end up passing on that weak gene, and you don't want that. Like, beauty is great, but if they're weak, if they're unable to tolerate somewhat sudden changes, it's, what's the use, right? You want to make sure that the strong genes pass on to the next, and from that you look for the ones that are beautiful to your, to your eye. And again, it doesn't really matter what people think. I think if you're looking for this certain trait, go for it. And it takes time. It takes, generations. But when you're not waiting for that one-off, one-offs will come, but hey, how many more are you going to get? So you spend the time looking for the ones that you really like, and you try to cross those, or you try to breed those to basically create a lineage that is stable, meaning most of the offsprings are going to look like the parents, right? That's one of the difficult things, and this is, I don't know, I think a lot of people think like once you get those parents, all the offsprings are going to look like the parents, but that's not the case. And that's why for a lot of the Medaka lineages that we are seeing from Japan, yeah, you could get certain parents, but a lot of people will look at their offspring and say, man, it looks nothing like the parents. And once they look nothing like the parents, or nothing like what the lineages is supposed to portray, you really can't call them what the lineages is. All right, it's time for me to grab another beer, but let me see if I could. All right, I'm going to use my camera hand. Let me zoom out to hold this pipe real quick while I grab a real quick brewski. Oh man, this goes up to Jan Nolta-san, Ann H-san, Rocky's Garage-san, Nina Franklin-san, Lindsay's Tank-san, Force Sake-san, and the best beer of the day is always for you, because of you, Fire Harp-san. Oh yeah, oh boy. All right. The other thing is, you see how the water pressure is getting like, it's not because I'm out of water, it's because as the water level decreases, even with the same height, the water pressure decreases as well. So like, let's say I filled up this bucket all the way to the top. The water, you'll see more water, obviously, but I don't even know what I'm talking about. But like, it's these small little things, like you're just playing with, like, I'm just playing with water at this point. But it's something I didn't think about when I was there. It's like, man, why am I losing pressure? Yeah, the elevation, right, changed. So, but taking little baby steps over here. At this size, I'm not really worried about the water parameters changing too much. I think they're doing good, but this water, when they get to this size, the water parameter change actually stimulates their growth. You're adding more, just random minerals and all that stuff, and they really, react to that. Again, when they're too small or fried, they'll end up just passing on, but passing on meaning they'll die. Literally, after water change in the morning, you'll see a bunch of them floating around just because they weren't able to deal with the changes. But at this size, this should just actually, on the opposite, polar opposite, stimulate their growth or stimulate their hunger, wanting to eat more and more and more, and that's what you want, right? So again, no water lens, no lens on this iPhone right now. Typically, if I put a lens on, you won't see all those glares on the top of the water. No Rode microphone. It's just strictly iPhone. Sometimes it's just like, man, I'm just doing my thing, and it's like I'll just hit record, and this is what happens. MedakaMetal style, I guess. If you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram at MedakaMetal is where I can be found. I will answer every question, and again, if I don't know what the answer is, I'll just say, man, I just don't know enough, but I could experiment and hopefully share. See, the pump is too weak now based on the amount of water I have over here. See, if I bring it down over here, the stream is all good. So the only way for me to get this water pumping again is to bring the bucket up to a higher level, which I can't do because I don't have enough hands. All right, so I think I talked enough. Again, I apologize. When I started recording, I was going to do this whole thing in one take, but I pressed the wrong button and I hit pause. And this is part 2, I guess, today. But we'll do it again next time. Ooh, yeah, there's some water trickling over here. I think they kind of like it, right? In fact, I know they do. I think in the next 2 days, because of this water change, I think they'll grow again. Again, MedakaMetal from the garage. I know I'm doing a lot of garage stuff. It's because there's some stuff going on outside, and I had to consolidate a lot of my tubs, and it looks like a freaking mess. I gotta get the outdoor thing. And where are these boys and girls gonna end up after this stage? I think I'm just gonna take them outside, man. And hopefully some will survive outdoors. And what do I mean by survive? See, when you are in an indoor situation, this is room temperature. There's no water heat. There's no heater or anything in here. Let me put this down. But what happens is you don't really get the temperature fluctuations, right? So what do I mean by temperature fluctuations? So in the morning and night, obviously, the water is cooler, the temperature is cooler, right? Naturally. I can finally drink a beer. Let me take a real quick sip. Let me open another one. So water fluctuation. Outdoors, obviously during the night and in the morning around like 6, 7 a.m. it's the coolest, so the water temperature drops regardless of how big the tub is. Well, indoors, the water fluctuation is really not going to happen. So right now during I have this thing on for about 13 hours, 14 hours. 14 hours is good. And that's what you want the light to be for Medakas. Pretty much the temperature is going to be around the same, even though it's at night. It's indoors, right? It's an insulated garage over here, so they're not used to the water temperatures changing on them. But now, once I throw these boys and girls outdoors, even though during the day, at nighttime, the water temperature is going to drop, regardless of where you are. And during the day, the temperature is going to go up. And that fluctuation actually puts a huge strain on Medakas, regardless of what age. And for these inexperienced little babies, it just puts a toll on them, and a lot will not make it. They just don't. Their bodies just can't adapt, and they'll end up passing away. So, out of all the parameters, I'm talking about water parameters, pH, what have you. The water temperature fluctuation is their weakest point, in my opinion, from keeping these Medakas. So I think once I decide that I am going to take these boys and girls outside, I'm expecting some not to make it, and hopefully some will. The ones that do not make it, the stronger genes will survive, and hopefully by keeping those stronger ones, they will pass on that gene, and then from that gene, the strong gene, you look for the beautiful ones that catch your eye, the ones that look like, man, they look friggin' beautiful, man. And it'll definitely put a smile on your face. But, again, you could have a lot weak ones that look good, but at the end of the day, you need strong gene Medakas, right? And then from there, you selectively breed the ones that capture your eye. We're like, man, this is awesome. You are beautiful. Again, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? So that's why there's so many varieties, because certain people will see one and go, man, this is beautiful. You may look at one and go, no, this one is beautiful. And then you pour your whole passion onto developing that certain look, a lineage, creating a lineage, right? That is stable and that is strong. So I think I talked enough. I'm just babbling on again. And oh boy, today is, I forgot to say the date. Today is Thursday, right? August, when is this? 14 or 15 or 16 or something like that. I forgot to check. But we'll do it again next time. Domo arigato. Again, from the MedakaMetal from the garage. Doing a little water, a tiny water change. 10% each, I guess. And this should stimulate them. And hopefully I'll be able to take them outside. Once the outdoor is all set up. It's a freaking mess right now. They're redoing all the fans, and it was a freaking mess. So, all right, domo arigato. Domo arigato, everybody. All you Medaka heads out there. All you Medaka head members that joined the MedakaMetal or Medaka head journey from the bottom of my heart. Domo arigato. This one's for you, Alex. Oh yeah.